Welcome to this explainer. So, Marvel just kicked the door wide open to its biggest crossover event since Avengers Endgame. And honestly, if you thought the multiverse saga couldn't possibly get any more complicated, you might want to grab your interdimensional seatbelts because this massive new Avengers Doomsday trailer changes absolutely everything. We are looking at familiar heroes returning, entirely new teams being forced to stand together, and a single villain threatening reality on a scale we've literally never seen before. Today we're breaking down this high-energy trailer, exploring this much darker era of the MCU, and separating the confirmed details from the wild fan theories. Let's dive right in.
To really wrap our heads around what we're looking at, we have to start by asking the one major question we've all had since the credits rolled on Endgame. I mean, who could possibly be a bigger threat than Thanos? That is a massive shadow to step out of. But Marvel's answer, as this trailer makes chillingly clear, is Doctor Doom. The atmosphere here is just noticeably darker than what we've seen lately. It instantly creates this heavy, oppressive feeling that our heroes aren't just gearing up for a big fight, they're facing a sweeping crisis that's going to affect multiple worlds. But look, before we meet that new threat, we really have to acknowledge our starting point. The MCU is a universe that is still in recovery. The trailer makes a point to remind us that we're still dealing with the heavy consequences of previous phases. Yes, the Infinity Saga ended with Tony Stark's ultimate sacrifice and the defeat of Thanos, but we all know that victory came with an enormous cost. The universe was completely fractured, and our heroes are still grappling with that fallout. And the stakes? They've been quietly building in the background for a while now. We've watched these multiversal threats escalate across projects like Loki, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and Deadpool and Wolverine. First it was variants, then it was incursions. Now, it's entire realities colliding. Rather than treating those as just isolated, fun side adventures, the Doomsday trailer violently pulls all those threads together. It's telling us pretty clearly that they are all leading toward one massive, catastrophic conflict. Which brings us to the terrifying new reality of the MCU. The shift from Thanos to Doctor Doom is absolutely massive, but when you compare the two, you quickly realize they represent very, very different types of threats to our heroes. Think about it. Thanos actually believed his brutal actions would bring a twisted kind of balance to the universe, right? He genuinely saw himself as the savior. Doctor Doom, however, is driven by sheer ambition, absolute control, and the unwavering belief that he, and only he, can shape the future. That difference changes everything. Instead of fighting someone who thinks he's saving the universe, the heroes are now facing a tyrant who is determined to rule it. To really understand the scale of this problem, we have to define exactly who Victor Von Doom is. In the comics, and now clearly in the MCU, he isn't just another strong guy with a CGI army. He is quite literally one of the greatest minds in the Marvel universe. His knowledge of cutting-edge science rivals Tony Stark's, while his profound understanding of ancient magic makes him wildly unpredictable. Toss in the fact that he rules his own sovereign nation, and you have an anomaly that technology alone absolutely cannot solve.
Doom doesn't just rely on physical strength. He wins by planning several moves ahead of everyone else. He knows exactly how to turn his enemies against each other. So if the trailer is setting him up as the central threat, it means the Avengers are facing an enemy who can challenge them intellectually and politically, just as much as physically. The old tactic of just overpowering the villain with a well-timed punch? Yeah, that's not going to work anymore.
Because of Doom's unique capabilities, the scale of the conflict has expanded in a way that's kind of hard to fathom. The multiverse isn't just a neat sci-fi concept hovering in the background anymore, it has literally become the battlefield. If you've been following Marvel's recent stories, you know the multiverse has grown increasingly unstable, and this trailer shows us the absolute terrifying results of that instability. We are literally watching alternate realities being forced into dangerously close proximity. Different universes are now existing side by side. The trailer builds this rapid, dramatic tension by showing us the visual chaos of distinct worlds just bleeding into one another's space.
And as that tension ramps up, we see that proximity turn violently destructive. Some of these isolated universes don't just sit nicely next to each other. They violently crash into one another. These terrifying incursions literally force realities to collide, creating a level of devastation that honestly makes the battle for Earth look microscopic by comparison.
Which leads us to the ultimate terrifying consequence shown in the footage. Others disappear completely. Entire realities, along with everyone in them, are being totally wiped from existence. The stakes are no longer just about saving half the population. The stakes are about whether existence itself will even continue.
This brings a massive emotional weight to the trailer, sparking a desperate question. Can every universe survive? Or will saving one reality mean sacrificing another? Just think about the impossible choices our heroes are going to face on this new battlefield. This isn't just about cool action scenes anymore. It's about the heavy moral toll of deciding who gets to live and whose universe has to die.
Faced with that impossible scenario, we shift to the only potential solution they have left, uniting a completely new generation of heroes. After Endgame, we all know the Avengers just don't function as the united team we remember. They desperately need a new team dynamic, and the trailer strongly hints that Earth's defenders will have to come together in a way we haven't seen before.
It all really comes back to a chilling realization from the trailer. No single hero can stop what's coming. The Avengers have always been at their best when they work together. But this threat, it is far too massive for any individual character to shoulder alone.
And man, that is a massive challenge. Post-Endgame, the original Avengers are divided, retired, or completely missing. They've moved into completely different roles. But a Doomsday-level threat demands a multi-generational team united across completely different franchises. Instead of relying only on the familiar faces, Marvel has spent years expanding its world so that these entirely separate paths can finally converge right here.
To truly combat a master strategist who wields both science and magic, raw superhero strength is no longer enough. The Avengers aren't just going to need muscles and energy blasts. Survival requires trust, strategy, and unity. Just like they had to learn to trust each other back in the first Avengers movie and had to reunite in Endgame after being torn apart, unity must once again become their absolute greatest weapon against Dr. Doom.
The tone, the music, the dramatic imagery, it all points to one undeniable truth. This isn't just another standard mission. Marvel wants us to clearly understand that this is being framed as a survival thriller for the entire MCU. It is the ultimate Marvel war. Let's just quickly summarize the immense scale we're dealing with here. We are looking at a crisis that will permanently dictate the future of the MCU itself. The stakes extend far beyond Earth, involving the kind of universe-changing comic events that Doom is so famously known for. And most importantly, this is all about preparing audiences for an even larger story. Because if Doomsday is just the first chapter of this new crossover, it is laying the groundwork for something truly astronomical.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought. Based on Marvel's storytelling patterns, a lot of fans are theorizing that this movie might not wrap up neatly. I mean, will Doomsday end in the Avengers' greatest defeat since Infinity War? Could the film leave the multiverse in even greater danger, setting up the absolute worst-case scenario for whatever comes next? It's a terrifying thought for sure, but one that perfectly fits the epic scale Marvel is building toward. So what do you think? What was your biggest takeaway from the trailer, and do you think the heroes are actually destined to lose this time around? Let me know. And as always, keep seeking out the facts.